Have you ever imagined how much wisdom and mystery exist in the initiation rituals of the ancient mystery schools? These practices are not merely exotic ceremonies. They symbolize a journey of internal transformation and spiritual growth that transcends times and cultures, revealing a path of self-discovery and enlightenment that continues to captivate seekers to this day. To understand the initiatory rituals of the mystery schools, one must delve into the history and spirituality of civilizations such as the Egyptian, the Greek, and those associated with the ancient East. These civilizations, with their mystical traditions, developed secret rituals that guided their adepts not only through the mysteries of the cosmos but of the human interior. Let's explore some of the most prominent schools, starting with Egypt, the cradle of much esoteric knowledge. In the ancient Egyptian civilization, initiation rituals had deep religious and philosophical roots. There are records of how aspirants were subjected to physical and psychic endurance tests, literary works that challenged the very perception of reality. These tests, often conducted in underground temples, symbolized a symbolic death and spiritual rebirth. The initiates were guided through the depths of their consciousness, confronting their own fears and weaknesses. Often, Egyptian teachings revolved around the great myths of Osiris, Isis, and Horus. These myths depicted divine dramas that not only represented natural phenomena and cycles of life and death, but also served as metaphors for the initiate's journey towards enlightenment. The death of Osiris and his subsequent resurrection, for example, was a powerful allegory of spiritual transformation through an initiatory process. Let's move now to Greece, where we find the famous Eleusinian mysteries. These rituals involved adepts in annual celebrations symbolizing the human soul's quest for eternal truth. In Eleusis, each initiate was guided through processes that included purification, fasting, and pilgrimage, culminating in a sacred nighttime event shrouded in absolute secrecy, whose revelations were so zealously guarded that even today we have only enigmatic fragments of their profound meanings. Focusing on the goddess Demeter and her daughter Persephone, the Eleusinian mysteries use the cycle of nature to impart philosophical and spiritual teachings about life, death, and rebirth. These rites affirmed the idea that all cycles of loss and recovery in life were, in fact, reflecting an inevitable return to unity with the divine. The presence of agriculture as a backdrop reinforced the interconnection between the earth, its harvests, and human spirituality, making it clear that renewal was always lurking after dormancy. As we navigate to the east, we find the spiritual tradition of the ancient Vedas and the ascetic practices of India. Here, initiation often meant a deep commitment to meditation, mental discipline, and devotion. In Hindu traditions, rites of passage were deeply personal and dedicated to self-knowledge and the control of human passions. Seekers were brought into the presence of a wise guru, who became their guide responsible for spiritual enlightenment through oral teachings and introspective experiences. The doctrine of yoga, with its 8 pillars, served as a precise methodology for self-analysis and spiritual development, a clear translation of the human microcosm before the universal macrocosm. This path of personal discipline culminated in the unification of the individual soul with the cosmic soul, Sakti uniting with Siva, the very impetus of initiation becoming an eternal dance between complementary forces. Beyond these central examples, Zoroastrianism of ancient Persia and the traditions of the Pythagorean and Orphic schools also housed distinctive practices and philosophies that guided followers through mystical paths of introspection and communion with the divine. In these contexts, symbolism often spoke louder than words, encapsulated in myths, numbers, and sounds that became essential tools for inner transformation. It is important to consider that, in all these traditions, initiation was never just about external rites, but about a profound encounter with the truest inner self. The initiate, by going through these stages, was absorbed into their essence, aligning their consciousness with cosmic truths and reflecting on their own virtues and flaws. It was a marriage of the visible with the invisible, a spiritual alchemy that radically transformed individuals willing to tread these paths. And today, what can we learn from these secret rituals of ancient times? In essence, they teach us that the most powerful initiations do not require distant sacred temples. but rather the willingness to look within and confront our most intimate aspects. They encourage us to seek balance, resilience, and wisdom, reminding us that the true esoteric is rooted in self-discipline and the pursuit of knowledge. They awaken in us the awareness that we are all, in some way, initiates on the journey of life. Drawing on these examples of ancestral rituals, we can remember and apply in our own lives the wisdom of the ancients, reflecting on our own personal journeys of discovery and spiritual evolution. It is an opportunity to internalize the teachings that endure beyond time, rediscovering hidden meanings in the details of everyday life, and allowing us to be the creators of our own sacred narrative. And so, I invite each of you to become initiates of your own story, to seek in traditions echoes of your personal missions, and to be inspired by the lessons of the past to illuminate the present, creating paths of understanding, respect, and love throughout life. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of ancient wisdom, and I wish each of you courage and clarity as you follow your own journey of transformation.